Wound up with several surprises today. Look at all those piglets. I think she's got them all here. It is a beautiful morning on the farm. Man, we've had about 4 days of just cool weather. It's in the 60s in the morning and the mid 80s in the afternoons. I'm Rob from Dottle Family Farm. I'm looking forward to a cool, easy day on the farm this morning. I got some milk from the dairy distributor yesterday, so I've got to put it in containers to get it ready to feed. Also moved the cow herd to the sorghum sudangrass yesterday, so I want to go check and see how they're doing. I've also had a sow that had 11 piglets. Maybe tomorrow Evan and Bubba will be here to help catch the piglets. And then I've got several little projects around the farm that I'd like to get done as well. I decided to hop on the four-wheeler and check on the sows first, and I drove up here, and I wanted to make sure, first of all, that the two others that were scheduled to have babies soon have not gone on and farrowed. But as I started calling them, I heard this other sow off to my right. Here's the mama. This is the sow that had the babies, and all of the... Oh, she's brought piglets up here with her. Look at all those piglets. I think she's got them all here. So it's time to catch her and put these piglets. There's 1, 2, 3. Look at those piglets running. Now those piglets are on the fence and they're not getting shocked. Why is that happening? No voltage. No voltage. What's wrong with the fence? So I'm walking over to the other side of the paddock to see if there's voltage where the power comes into the fence. No voltage. No, well, that does have voltage. Now why does that have voltage? There's no way this thing is shorting out so bad that it's not going to read any voltage down there. This is why I despise polywire. Right there we got 6,000 volts, and the little filaments in the wire have broken, and so it's not conductive. And so we don't have any voltage on this fence. I'm surprised these pigs have stayed in. I'm going to have to replace this wire. I think the first thing I'm going to do is feed all these pigs as much as they can eat here so that this mama doesn't follow me around all over creation. It's hard to tell what's going on here, but really what I'm doing is I'm feeding the sows primarily so that this sow with her 11 piglets will come on into the fence. And then they'll have enough feed to keep them eating while I replace that poly wire that has no electricity. I'll bring them off some milk in a little bit too, but I want them to have plenty of feed to keep them busy and eating for the next hour or so until I can get this fence replaced. Those piglets right there are starting to eat dry feed, and that's what we're wanting. So often this is the way things happen on the farm. Things work out much better than expected sometimes, like this sow that had farrowed within a briar and bramble patch across the creek and down a steep ravine, came up to the feed, pulling all 11 of her piglets. I didn't have to chase them, didn't have to catch them, they just came up on their own. It's mitigated by the fact, though, that the fence was not working properly, and so now I've got to go back and replace all of this wire on the electric fence. Ironically, as I go to replace the wire, I find this problem right here. The water's leaking right there. That explains why we've used 100 plus gallons of water for 6 pigs in just 5 days. Well, that's resolved. Now let's get back to running the water. I would have expected them to have eaten more of this cowpea here. They're not foraging quite as well as I would like for them to. I should have caught that scraggly looking wire when I hung it, but this is why you always test electric fences after you put them up. This is the field I just moved the pigs off of last week, and it is hard to believe just how well the buckwheat that had gone to seed is regrowing after the pigs grazed it and after we flail mowed it. It's just amazing how good buckwheat is at providing nutrition for pigs, but also reseeding. So I got that wire hung, and as I wrapped up, I came over here, and midnight, this Hampshire sow right here started grunting. She laid down, and all these piglets came up to start nursing her. However, she is pregnant. She is not in milk, but for some reason she enjoys having pigs nurse on her. This is the third farrowing on our farm that she's done where she's had other piglets on the farm nurse her. Before we dump the milk, let's go take a look at the cows grazing the sorghum sudangrass. I'm out here north of Dowdle Road. This is a 5-acre field. We've got 50 cows and their calves and the 2 bulls on here as well. I want to see how well they're grazing it. Normally, I would rotationally graze the cows in this paddock, but we don't have any good shade out here, and I don't have water here that I can lock them into it, but it's not all that great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just letting them have the whole 5-acre field, and then I'll pull them off of it in 4 or 5 days. But this is what it looks like right now. This is a 275-gallon tote. You can see the milk line right here, just under 125 gallons. Milk from the dairy distributor. So now I'm going to go to the red field across the road and get ready to move those cows into a new paddock. When I pulled up to the red field into this corral here that has a bunch of different paddocks off of the side of it, what I found is this leaking water tank. So I'm going to move the cows and then fix the water tank. The way my dad designed this red field out here, it makes the moves into new paddocks so easy. Of course, these cows are used to following us around like puppy dogs, but it just makes it so incredibly easy, and it takes very, very little time. Now that the cows are in this paddock, though, and they're not going to be following me around, I'm going to return back to fix that livestock tank. I really like these Jobe float valves. They attach from either underneath or any part of the side of the tank, and then you can adjust them as you want with a string or with an arm. This particular model is the Megaflow valve, so it allows the water to fill up much faster in the livestock tank. That'll depend on your pressure and your gallons per minute that you have coming to the water tank. Whereas the ones we use for the pigs are gravity fed, so they're low pressure and they're low volume, but we don't need a lot of volume with smaller groups of pigs. I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested in purchasing these valves. They're a little expensive, but these Megaflow valves are well worth it when you start talking about watering a lot of livestock. Well, a morning that was going to last just a couple or 3 hours turned out to last a lot more. The poly wire was messed up and I had to replace that. Then I wound up with some other problems like the leaking water tank. And so it actually has taken me 5 or 6 hours to actually get everything done that I wanted to today, and still didn't get everything done. But that's the way it works out on the farm sometimes. At least it was a cooler day than we've had in a while. Y'all take care. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.